everyone, I'm William Park, one of your pros here at Blackhawk Country Club, and today I'm at the Lakeside Chipping Green yet again, and I want to work on a couple things with you guys. It's first off, we're going to work on bump and runs, the traditional shot that I would say all of us pros love to preach here. One of the most simplest, easy shots, very high reward, very low risk. You know, that's the things that we all want to hear in life, especially with golf. So I'm gonna tell you guys some things that I do that helps me work on hitting really tight bump and run shots. And at the end, I got a little surprise shot for you guys that I'm gonna show off that I probably shouldn't, but it's a fun shot that I think everyone should be able to do. So the first thing that I want to get into is just bump and runs. Right? Everyone says hit a bump and run, just keep it low, play the run. The hardest thing to do with a shot like a bump and run is knowing your distances. Right? You guys have a great chipping green here where you can work on something like this. And this kind of drill, you can use a hole, you don't have to use a hole. It's just about hitting the same shot with your other clubs that you want to use bump and runs for. So my first club I have here is my 58. With any standard bump and run. If this is my normal setup, I want to do maybe half step closed, more in line with my right foot, because I'm a right-handed golfer. Right foot heel, maybe even back toe, so decently far in the back of my stance. And all I'm going to do is I like to think of bringing my hand to my pocket line, just so I'm repeating the same swing for these, and you'll find out why in just a second. So for me, I'm gonna aim kind of just left of all the pins here, swinging to my pocket, back of the stance, and we want to see where this thing goes. And the key about this shot is trying to really make a divot. You're not going to make a big flush divot like you were with a full swing wedge, but still just thinking about making a divot, coming down and chipping out that ball. So from this point where this ball went, now I want to pace out how many steps it went from the green. So it's up over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bam. I just found out how far my bump and run goes with my 58. It was that simple. Now I'm just gonna sit here and repeat the same process with my other clubs and do it over and over again until I'm comfortable with those numbers where I can take it out on the course. So now I have my 54, gonna do the same thing, smaller stance, more in line with my back heel, swinging to my pocket line. Kind of aim at the same spot to give me a good reference. Thinking of making a divot. Put that one a little bit shorter than I'd want to, so I'd give it another run at it. First one was kind of just below my pocket, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it went decently farther than that 58. I'd say maybe 8 or so paces. So we add that to, what'd we say, 9 for our 58, 10, we'll call it 19 total paces. So right there, if you have a chip shot where you're this far from the green, for me, if it's playing to, let's call it that second flag, I know I can hit a bump and run 58. Grab my 58, small stance, back of the heel instead of front, we want it back, swing into my pocket, make a divot. And catch it. Just left of it. Hit a ball, kicked long, but it was pretty good distance. And so now if I want to go farther, take it a little more right, I know I can just do the same thing with a little more club. And that's about knowing your distances. Like I said, this shot is very easy to hit. I've maybe hit one bad one, decently bad one out of the 4 or 5 that I've just hit. And you can see they've all pretty much gone where I wanted to, even the one I didn't hit as great as I wanted to. So that shot can be this shot is so easy, but it's about knowing your distances. All right, if you go out there, try to hit a bump and run, and you hit it over the green, now you have a bad putt. right? Then, like I said in the bunker before, you're trying to save a bogey instead have a run out of par or a birdie. So that's all we want to work on with bump and runs, knowing our distances. For me, I like doing swings to my pocket line. Some people like going a little bigger, a little smaller. It's just about doing that same swing and knowing how far it's going to release once it catches the green. With all that boring stuff out of the way, that's my fun bump and run technique that I like to do. It makes it nice and simple. Now the fun shot that everyone came here for is a very high spinning, high flighted pitch shot. All right, so if I have a shot where I'm tucked in short-sided to that front pin in front of us here, there's a couple things that we can do, right? Obviously, I definitely can hit the bump and run. Definitely can. Oh, that was bad. Jenny didn't see that one. Definitely can hit the bump and run. But the problem with that much slope in front of me is it's going to be short, or like how you guys just saw, it's going to catch the slope left and roll off and be long. So the first step to hitting something higher and hitting a shot like this is knowing what it's going to do on the club face. Right? The more spin we want, we have to swing almost slower. Because if I swing fast and get this quickly off the club face, it's not going to have enough time to roll off that club face to generate backspin. Right, if I go quick, it's kind of just like hitting a normal flush wedge shot. Right, so we almost want to swing a little slower, but the release is where we kick it and get that speed back. So this swing is almost going to feel like 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Right, the key to this shot is in here. Just timing contact. Obviously, for some golfers, you know what can happen. The good old knife or blade and thin it. It goes into the house. Well, obviously, we're not thinking about doing that because we're not going to do that. But with this shot also, slightly wider than the bump and run. A little bit smaller than our normal swing, right? Normal swing for me, I'm here. This type of high shot, I'm slightly closed. Ball in the front of the stance, weight forward. I would say if you have a 60 degree, don't open the face. If you don't have a 60 degree, just a little bit of an open. And all you're gonna think about is point the club to the sky and finish with the club also pointed to the sky. And that's gonna help you generate that flip release motion that we want. And short-sided pin. A nice high loft on it. Caught it a little bit too good, but it spun nicely. And this is a very, very tough shot compared to the bump and run. But obviously, who doesn't love to hit it high? This is a fun shot. So I can adjust, kind of just before it points up to the sky, but still finishing pointing to the sky. Get that flip motion. Oh, William. Uno más, uno más. Move it a little more forward. There she is. Woo. That was pretty good. That's all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. You guys have a good one.